today's episode, we are diving into the world of hands on engineering with our incredible guest, Shagun Maheshwari. But, guys, we are not going to talk to her about engineering as such, but let us try to dive into her entrepreneurial journey on a road that is less traveled, on a path that is not at all taken, especially by women. So, she's a repeat guest on our platform. We hosted her already in TGV Hindi last year, and as a dynamic engineer who finds her joy in the lab, Shagun immerses herself in everything from exploratory experiments to the intricate processes of scaling up. And she's not just limited to the technical realm. Shagun delves into coding, automation, and design, showcasing her versatility. So join us as we explore Shagun's entrepreneurial journey, her passion for getting to the root of challenges, and how she thrives in multidisciplinary teams, adapting seamlessly to fast-paced environments. So get ready for a deep dive into Building Papaya brand, and I'm not referring to fruit here, but something else. But before we get to know more about the papaya, and before we get into the conversation, as always, let us tickle our guest first. So, Shagun, get ready for a rapid fire round of random words. And I'll mention a few. Would love to hear the first thing that comes to your mind in response without thinking much. Are you ready for it?
Okay, got it. Sounds good.
All
yes.
right. Here comes the first question. Curiosity.
Imagination.
Invention.
That links with curiosity, but I guess invention. Progress.
Future.
Right.
Book.
So many. I wish I had time to read. Read more.
Inspiring life story.
I should have said that.
And volume 1 as well.
Yeah.
Movie.
No favorite one, oddly.
All right. Fruit.
Papaya.
I was supposed to ask fruit other than
mango.
papaya. Yeah.
Mango. Yeah.
Okay, mango. Same with me. Universe.
Yeah. Big, infinite.
Leadership.
So many things to learn. I'm not giving you one word. I'm giving you like sentence. Role models. I think a combination of friends and family.
Wow, I love it. And the last one is success.
That is a hard one. I think anything that makes you happy, doing whatever you're doing. Yeah, everyday happiness. Yeah.
Awesome. I love the responses, and as always, you are spot on. And thank you so much for participating in the first rapid fire round so sportively. And there is one more waiting towards the end of the episode, so stay tuned. And folks, welcome to the Guiding Voice podcast series where we embark on transformative conversations for a better future. I'm your host Navin Samala, dedicated to making the world a better place through valuable discussions that add value not only to your life but also to your career. Thank you so much for tuning in. And Shagun, welcome back to TGV. So thank you so much for being part of this journey as well. And thank you so much for
thank you for having me.
let us inspire millions across the globe with this episode. So how are you today?
I am very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. All the good things started coming into my life. I'm super excited. I'm getting the results of last 3.5-4 years of efforts. So I'm super excited. Super
That
excited.
Is awesome.
All right, so let's get started. So Shagun, let's start with your success mantra. So please talk to us about the top 3 things that have attributed to your success so far.
I don't even know what when someone says attributed to your success, I think it's like a long path to get to, like there's a long place, there's a long way to go. But so far, I think doing what brings you joy is one. Because then when things get a little bit hard, you don't you don't leave it as easily because it brings you joy. But also, I think, I'm taking a little bit of a tangent. I love going on backpacking and hiking trips, and I never like the well, when I'm hiking, it's terrible. I'm just like, when are we going to get to wherever we're going to get to? But after the fact, I'm always very happy. And I think it's the people, or like, along the way, somebody will tell you like, Shagun, 10 more steps, or like 5 more steps. And at some point, and you're like, okay, fine. And at some point you look back and you've come many, many steps. And I think sometimes Building Papaya feels like that. Like every so often somebody you stumble upon and they say, you guys are doing well, just like a little bit more, or this more, or like do this more. And then you look back and, oh, a lot of steps that I did not think possible earlier. So I guess what I'm trying to say is bite-sized chunks.
Amazing. So, actually, you reminded me of my hiking experience. I hiked the Camelback Peak in Arizona, and it was such a great experience. But one thing is, I took a lot of risk. Me, along with one of my friends, we hiked without any gear on a regular shoes, and we could complete everything in 2.5 hours. And we got sheltered after returning home by my brother and his friends, because that was my first hiking experience there last year. Okay.
Oh, that's nice. I haven't been there. Oh.
But you should try. That's a beautiful.
Okay.
All right. So let's move forward. And Shagun, talk to us about the toughest lessons that you have learned in your entrepreneurial journey so far.
The thing, it's more of a realization, I suppose. I am an engineer, and it's science is usually like, there is broadly there's a framework that you think like this. These are like rules of the universe, right? You can't really defy them, and then you work under those. But entrepreneurship seems to be a little bit, there are no rules. It's a little bit of, what do you call it? It's whatever you can think of. And the other thing that was interesting that I realized is most people are also just trying to figure it out. So I think, a couple of months ago, I was in a meeting and I was feeling, oh, maybe, I don't know enough, and maybe I'm the newest person here to this sort of a career. But the more you talk to people, you realize that, well, I probably am always going to feel like this. And I guess everyone to some degree is just kind of doing whatever they can, and that's that. So I don't know if that really answers your journey, but that's your question. But that's what I learned, that there are no rules, and you can be as creative as you want to be. It's just a different type of creativity. And people are people, and they're doing what they can. There's no like, basically.
Nice. Now let's talk about papaya. So what is papaya all about? And what are you
Papaya is making, yes, the papaya is making a different kind of menstrual pad. It is a pad that does not exist on the market today. It works by coagulating menstrual blood instead of just absorbing it. What this means is that we're able to be drier than regular plastic-based pads. We're also antimicrobial, plastic-free, non-toxic, and fully compostable. The reason for using the coagulation path is because it's very difficult to compete with plastics in terms of absorbency from natural fiber alone. And so we basically have given natural fibers kind of a superpower. That's basically what we've done. And giving it a superpower, and that is what makes us different and be comfortable without compromising on health or sustainability.
Awesome. I love the cause and the purpose and the vision that you have, right? So really appreciate it. And now let's take a step back and talk about, why did you name it as papaya? Why not something else?
Because two reasons. One, in India, depending on where you're from, I think even across the world, people either tell you to eat a papaya or not eat a papaya, depending on whether or not your cycle is late or not. And it's a little bit of a tongue-in-cheek reminder that there's a lot about women's health that we're just told, that is passed on from, that's kind of, people just tell you. And there's a lot that we still don't understand or know properly. So before you accept things about your health and your body, I mean, maybe look into it. It's kind of a tongue-in-cheek play on that. And the other reason is basically question what you're told. And the other reason is if you cut a papaya, it kind of looks like a vagina.
Nice. I love the logic. And Shagun, I'm very curious. Did you ever face criticism for building a sanitary napkin brand? And were there any awkward moments in your journey so far wherein you went to pitch it for investors or anything else wherein you were trying to promote your brand and somebody might have said, okay, why did you get into that thing? Right?
Yes. Well, mostly people have been very supportive, but every so often I hear like, well, you're making a physical product. I mean, I don't know. I guess a lot of people prefer digital products, but whatever. It is what it is. The world works on physical products. So, but more on the sanitary pads aspect, you walk into a room and either the audience gets it or they don't. That's what I've noticed. Like some people, when I talk to them, I see that they're willing to talk and they're interested, and some at least their body language changes a little bit, even though visibly they won't say anything. So it's just kind of a shift in behavior that I noticed, but no outright criticism, which is great, which is good for us. Yeah, so far people have been overly very, very supportive.
Nice,
overall.
very nice. I think we have to treat that as a boon to have supporting people around us and who are acting like cheerleaders in our journey. That is one of the most important aspects.
Yes,
awesome.
It is.
Awesome. So now again, one more curious question, and this is more about your engineering background. And you merged your engineering background with a passion for menstrual health and sustainability. So what inspired this unique combination and led to your company's founding?
So I was obsessed with I have been obsessed with menstruation for a while, and my two interests in life, I think, are women's health and climate change. So and I've been wanting to do something in either of these, I think, but obsession with menstruation was more like I needed to find a better product for myself. I tried everything on the market and I fell in love with the menstrual cup. I told everybody I know about it, family, friends, and the response I got was very surprising because most people were like, Shagun, we're not okay trying this. I think I convinced almost no one except my little sister, and that does not really count because she is an easier audience to convince. And I realized that people, they still have either, social discomfort about an insertable product, or just discomfort with their own bodies. And this is still not completely acceptable. And so I was thinking, okay, but then can I make a product that that people are willing to use, that meets them where they're comfortable being met? And that's when I decided it has to be a pad, because otherwise, or it has to be like, it cannot be so different from behavior that, people's behaviors, that they are reluctant to try it. But it also has to be uncompromising on health and comfort. And it would be great if it was also sustainable. So that is where it started from. And I did a lot of experiments, some at home. I found a open source biology, not open source, but a community biology lab, which was very fortunate. And I was able to do some experiments there. And then, that's how it started.
Okay. And I have one basic question. And again, probably treat this as an education to all the listeners or the people who are, or to the people who are watching this episode, right? So can you explain the difference between menstrual cups versus tampons versus pads?
Oh, yeah, of course. So, so currently for menstrual health, I mean, pads, I think, are the most familiar that most people might be. But cups and tampons are insertable devices. So a tampon is kind of just like a stick of cotton or absorbent fibers that you can put in. And a cup is usually made of silicone, so medical grade silicone, and it's flexible. And so the job is like, as the name says, you put it in and then it expands and it sort of seals, so it can collect blood and then you can take it out and you can dump it. So that, but for menstrual cups, one gets very familiar with the body, because and if people get a bit awkward by being that familiar with themselves, then they may not want to use it. Yeah.
Got it. And thank you for explaining so boldly. And let's move forward to the next question. So menstrual health in India, right, has been a
Mm-hmm.
topic of increasing concern. And what are the key challenges and disparities you have observed? And how does your company, Papaya, address these issues?
I think we're in a it's a good time. We're talking about this topic more, which is great. But there is still a lot of stigma around it, reluctance to talk about it. But there's also a lot of incomplete information about a lot of conditions associated with menstrual health, like PMS or endometriosis and period pain. And a lot of women struggle with these without knowing that they may have, bigger things that they need to probably like talk to someone about. Uh, excuse me. But on the other end of the spectrum, like just on a lot of menstrual health, access to products is also a big problem in India. 50% of women, roughly 50%, use commercially available products. The rest use home-based products, and the diversity of the home-based products can be like, okay, somebody makes a hand stitch pad, but it can also just be rags or like, not proper, like whatever they find. So there's that. There is also the lack of and some of this might be socioeconomic, like economically dependent, but some of this is also just a lack of access, because in a lot of villages and smaller communities, just access to a shop that sells period products is limited. And if it is there, then the knowledge in the community about like, oh, whether like most women take their advice of period products from their friends and family. So if their friends and family are like, well, we don't trust this, then it gets difficult. But yeah, so lack of actual physical product access, and then also the economic barriers, two things.
Great, and I wish you all the best on your endeavors in terms of creating the
Oh,
sustainable product
so
and also spreading awareness. Yeah.
yeah. So the way papaya, like where papaya fits into this is right now our product is aimed at a more premium market, but we are hoping that as we scale, we'll be able to expand our offering. We are also partnered with non-profit partners, Mena Mahila Foundation, and through them, we are committed to giving them 10% of our profits. And that will go towards women's health, menstrual product, and education of low-income communities in India.
Superb. And I wish you nothing but the best and more power to you. More power to you. So, again, one question from my product management hat. So, how many iterations did you take before building the current version or current model? I don't know if
Oh,
I can call it
it
as version.
depends. Yeah, version models, whatever works. It depends where you want to start counting. But officially, I think three.
Okay.
But there were many runs before that. We were just trying to figure out what materials work and how the stack needs to be. And once we finalized that we are going to go the coagulation route, it was repeat product level iterations on how does it all work together and what in the product. Oh, my cat is here.
That's fine. Hi.
She muted me. So yeah, this is my cat. So there was at least like three or more iterations on the product front on how do we make it a usable product for people, like after the stack we know works. So that took a while. Yeah.
Awesome. And how do you test the product?
uh, this is an interesting one because when I was first developing this, I was testing it on myself, and it didn't occur to me to you. I mean, I was testing it on when I was on my period. That's how I was doing the test. So it was on actual period blood, and it didn't occur to me that most pad companies don't do that. They test on saline water. So that is, I think, the reason how I stumbled on coagulation, and most pads work on absorbance, but whatever, that's a different tangential topic. So testing is, well, apart from user feedback, getting a lab-based test, there's the usual, there's some guidelines on what it should do, but our product is different. It doesn't work on absorbance. I mean, it has absorbance, but that's not its main component. And so like we have been talking to some of the certification bodies as well, because the testing metric needs to be modified for ours, because we need to test for coagulation. So that's been interesting, and it's been a learning experience. And it's been also fascinating that a lot of bigger, more established, bigger brands don't test with actual period blood. So they're not set up to use blood in their tests, which is interesting.
Got it. And Shagun, I'm thoroughly enjoying this conversation, and I love talking to young, aspiring entrepreneurs like you, because it ignites furthermore passion in me as well. And this has been fabulous conversation, and it's time for us to add some more spice and some more excitement to the episode. So if you are ready, I would like to kick off the second rapid fire round.
Yes. I think the cat is also ready.
So if you could have one gigantic billboard anywhere with anything on it, what would it say?
Look up. I don't think that changes. Look at the stars, and I don't know. I think world would be a better place if we just spent more time outdoors.
Superb. And here comes the next one. Name a celebrity you would like to date with.
Oh no. I choose not to. No, I think I'm fine.
Okay, fair enough. And can you describe yourself in just one word?
Tenacious. I think that is a word my mom would definitely use.
Superb. And if you were to swap your life with someone for a day, who would it be?
My cat. I think it would be fun to explore. Yeah.
Love it. And if you could have any superpower, what would it be and why?
I had an answer to this. As I was falling asleep, I was thinking about this. Somebody else had also asked me this. I think if I could travel wherever I wanted with a snap of my fingers, I would love that.
Something like a Demon's door.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Okay, and here comes the last one for the second rapid fire round. What is one electronic gadget or a fantasy gadget that you like to see or invent yourself?
I don't know about seeing. Well, before Papaya, I was working in a smart contact lens company. So I think that came the closest to me working on an electronic, like a sci-fi-esque electronic gadget that will ever be. But other than that, I think it'd be nice to have a smart period product of some kind that maybe did something. I don't know, something about use the blood to help with some kind of health monitoring.
No, got it. Very nice. And I loved your thought process and great answers to the second rapid fire. And thank you once again for that. And let's flip back to the mainstream. So, what will be your one piece of advice to those who are aspiring to become an entrepreneur like you?
Do what brings you joy. And I don't think there is a timeline for when you're supposed to be doing things. So I think these days people have a lot of I'm 30 years old, what am I doing? I think people need to just do what they're,
so
do what brings them joy.
Age is not a bar, and you can get started anywhere, right? Anything.
Yeah, it is not about age. It is just about you doing interesting things and having fun and building things that are meaningful to you.
Love it. Totally love it. And thank you for that. And before I let you go, please share with us how is your experience being hosted on The Guiding Voice?
Oh, I was really nervous, but this was a very fun conversation. I think even though this is the repeat one, I was still nervous. Can you believe that? It's been really fun. And I think even I also need a boost of energy, even though, Papaya is something I want to do. I want to spend more time on, but every day I spend thinking about it. But it's nice to sort of talk about it with other people, and it also boosts me up. So that's fun.
Good one. So thank you once again for being part of our journey in shaping the careers and lives of millions across the globe. And really appreciate you taking time for joining us today. And see you again in future.
Yes, thank you so much, Naveen, for hosting. This was a very fun conversation. Have a happy new year and have lovely holidays. Yeah.
Thank you. Wish you the same. And friends, that was our episode with Shagun Maheshwari. And before we jump into the fun trivia section, we have a quick request. If you haven't already subscribed to TGV, the Guiding Voice podcast, please subscribe from wherever you have tuned in because subscribing keeps you updated on new episodes. And also, if you have enjoyed the conversation and found it useful, please share with at least three of your friends or colleagues who would also like TGV, the Guiding Voice. So spread the knowledge and also help others grow just like you. All right, now let's get into the trivia segment. And today's trivia is about menstrual hygiene. I think we have had wonderful conversation about Papaya, the menstrual hygiene brand, which is being built by Shagun and her team. And not only that, they are also trying to solve the problems, not only trying to solve women's menstrual problems, but also help with sustainability part, right? So I would like to talk about certain more facts which are going to complement with what information has already been shared by Shagun. And here comes the first one: menstrual cups, environmental impact. Menstrual cups often are made of medical grade silicone, rubber, latex, or elastomer and can last for several years. And the longevity means they generate significantly less waste compared to disposable pads and tampons. And choosing menstrual cups can be an eco friendly option. Second is about menstrual hygiene and school attendance. In many developing countries, girls' school attendance can be affected by inadequate menstrual hygiene management. And when girls lack access to sanitary products and proper facilities at school, they may miss classes during their periods, affecting their education and also opportunities. So, at this juncture, I would like to request all the NGOs and all the corporate leaders, whoever is watching this episode or listening to this, my humble request is to partner with brands like Papaya, and probably you can purchase products in bulk and try to distribute in certain low cost countries or
we
certain developing countries, right? So I'm sure
we are
Shivam.
going to have
Yeah.
yeah, we're going to roll out a sponsor a girl program through Papaya very soon. And
Mhm.
we're also yeah, looking for partnerships with corporates. So yes, DM me.
Super. So you'll find Shagun's LinkedIn profile URL here, right in the show notes or the episode description. And folks, that's it for today's episode. Thank you so much for tuning in and also for being part of our awesome community. We'd love to hear from you. So do not hesitate to share your ideas, feedback, topic recommendations, guest speaker suggestions, or whatever you feel like sharing. You can share with us through social media platforms, or you can also email us at theguidingvoiceforyou@gmail.com, and let's create content that resonates with you. I'm your host Navin Samala, a lifelong learner, and my goal is to have impactful conversations that improve not only your life but also your career. So until next time, take care, stay inspired, and remember the future holds great things because the best is yet to come. Goodbye for now. See you on the next episode with another amazing guest.
Bye.
Bye bye.